It's Craiggie's Connacht Rugby Podcast. We're tidying up as we just finished the interviews. Yes, there's another cable. Oh, no, cables that is, but yeah. Wow, Rob, wow.
Yeah, just an amazing night. Scenes. I was just saying to Linley there, you just see moments like that come up once in a while. I think in the pre-game podcast, some of you will have heard, we said this. It was like, these are the nights.
Yes.
And this is why we do it.
Yes.
And I think that's the point, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And my God, did they make us sweat for it. They absolutely made us sweat for it. We're gonna break into, myself and Linley did some in-match stuff, which we'll come back to in a couple of minutes. But Linley, you've had a few more minutes now to think about it. You've heard what Andy Friend and Jack Carty had to say, and we'll also hear that in a couple of minutes. But you've had a bit more, can we? We were a bit excited at the end of the match, but what are your thoughts now?
I'm just delighted that Connacht have been able to take another one out of Ulster up here in Ravenhill. We know we've done it before. They did it in 2018 for the first time. They've done it in the Rainbow Cup. But I think it's showing the progress that Connacht have made during that time, during Andy Friend's, and you have to compliment Andy Friend because It's been done during his reign. Yep. It now means that Connacht have that confidence that they can play their own game and win. They don't necessarily have to play. It's not a fluke. It's not that Ulster were bad because they weren't. Because let's face it, if you look at their pack really should have stonewalled us completely, but they didn't. They pride themselves. So I think it's a really significant win in the sense that Connacht now know that 2018 and the odd Rainbow Cup win was not a fluke. That they can do it if they stick to the way that they play their game.
Yeah, and it's playoff rugby. So it's not like, it's best on best. That's my phrase I'm trying to introduce to sport in Europe because it's a big American phrase. But it's best on best because it's not a regular season game with different things at play and we're already in the playoffs and we weren't too worried about that. This was everything on the line. This is, like you said it so well in the pre-game podcast, someone is going on their holidays and it's Ulster. And I'm not saying that to be glib or to dig at them. It's just we were about to be on our holidays when they were on our line. Yep. And somehow we dug in resilience, character, oozing out of this group. I said before in the pre-game podcast, you guys said you thought we could win. I thought we were going to be brave. I thought we were going to put ourselves in a position to win. I thought we've been sensational in these last 3 months, and I believed it was possible, but I had to say, gut feeling, on the line, we won't get it done. When Kieran Marmion decided to bounce through 6 players and break 45 metres, I'm sorry, Kieran, and I'm sorry the rest of you, you can get it done. You nailed it, and you've done every single Connacht rugby person all over the world so much. You're giving us so much pride. I said to Jack Carty, and you're here in the interview, I say you're getting loads of texts, Jack. Even I'm getting texts from people all over the place who know, and you're going to get it too, Alan. And all the Connacht fans who listen to this podcast are definitely going to get that. And this is why we do it, because we just want the team to be proud of them. When we walked out of Newcastle, we were like, God, what's going on? Now we walk out of here, whatever they do next week, they are just an absolute group of giants, and I'm so proud of them.
They certainly are. William, you're standing there contemplating deep. You've got all the bags packed now, so yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought they'd win. I said that during the week, and I thought they would. The weaknesses in Ulster were the weaknesses in Ulster this evening, but the trick is you have to exploit them. They didn't carry the ball well. Dan, nearly every second answer, we didn't win at the breakdown because Connacht beat us. They were better than us. We weren't good enough. And that's where Stephen Ferris during the week said on the interview thing, Ulster don't have ball carriers. Yeah. And he said their back line is very, it's hard to paraphrase it, but he suggested that the back line really only fires when they're on top. And they're expecting the forwards to get the driving balls going. Well, if you don't give away the penalties, you don't get the kick into the corner. It was a solid, that's the best performance they've put in since the final. It's the best performance under the Andy Friend era, without a doubt. Yeah. But it still wasn't.
Because I was chatting to Murray Kinsella before, and he said, Connacht should have been so far ahead. There was no way it should have been as close as it was.
Yeah, you have to learn to win easily, and we haven't learned that. That's the next thing they need to get working on. They butchered a couple of chances in the first half. Ulster I think they were a bit shell-shocked by how hard and physical Connacht were. Connacht came after, and they didn't just try to stop them, they actually went after them. Yeah. And that's what you have to do. And it did get sticky there a couple of moments, but they rode it out, and that was just a performance that they have to build on that now next week. Now, that's not going to be easy, but that's a really great challenge for them.
I want to say I counted about 520 fans here, so be careful, people, if you're claiming you're here in 20 years. That's the number. And every one of them made themselves heard. They were proud, they were noisy, they were full of green flags. It was incredible. Well done.
Yeah, and that finish at the end with the players climbing into the stand. I've got a few photographs, I'll fire them up. They're not particularly good photographs because my phone isn't the best, but it doesn't matter. You'll get a feel for how they brought themselves into it and really engaged with the fans yet again. Okay, before I bring William back in, let's listen to how the match went with myself and Linley, because we were sitting away from William and Rob today for the first time. Here's myself and Linley's thoughts, followed by Jack Carty and Andy Friend and their thoughts afterwards. Okay, Linley's just gone 22 minutes, sorry. We missed a 20-minute start because I didn't have the card in the machine. But Connacht are losing 3-0 when they could be winning 10-3.
Yeah, I think Ulster started very well. Took a while for Connacht to get into the game, but then they really started to make an impact when they kept the ball in hand. Great opportunity. Didn't take the 3 points when they had a penalty.
Yep.
That was a missed opportunity. The next one was they created a wonderful move with just outside the 22. Farrell ploughing ahead with the ball, had Blade on his shoulder, and instead decided to try to keep the ball. Turnover, lost opportunity. Could have been 10 basically 10-0 up, and instead Ulster immediately turned round, grabbed a penalty, took it. John Cooney kicked it, as John Cooney always does.
Yes.
And now they're ahead 3-0.
But the one thing I have to say is Connacht are actually defending quite well and they're winning a lot of the contacts. So even though we're losing 3-0, there's a feeling that we're actually doing quite well.
Oh, I think Connacht are actually coping very well with what one would expect to be a dominant Ulster pack.
Yes.
And I think that's a really key and very vital thing. They're totally in this contest, totally with it. I think their backs also have a little bit extra, the Connacht backs.
They do. There definitely seems to be something there. "39 minutes, 53 seconds. Connacht have a penalty in front of the goals. They were trying to run it. That's why the crowd cheered, because they knocked it on. And Connacht have a chance to get into a 9-3 lead. They are dominating this game, Linley. And I'd say they're going to kick this penalty. I hope they do. It's right in front of the posts. Referee's having a long discussion with Alan O'Halloran because they're giving a lot of penalties away in the 22. And I'm not sure the crowd are going to be quiet for this kick.
You wouldn't expect them to, would you? I mean, it's a great crowd, and as we know, Ulster are always brilliant supporters of their team, and it's just such an exciting atmosphere. But the funniest thing is, despite the fact that we can hear them chanting and singing, we can also hear the Connacht fans when Connacht are in possession, and so there's certainly a huge number of Connacht supporters here now. Just here's Jack going to kick that penalty straight through the posts. Half time, Connacht ahead.
9-3. And well deserved. Connacht have been playing all the rugby. McHanson's gone off with a head knock. He hasn't come back, so we're not going to see him anymore. But Connacht have been playing some great rugby, and Seamus Hurley Langton is just incredible.
Quite a revelation, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I think possibly he took a little while to bed in. We didn't see too much of him, but now he's really hit his straps. I have to say, for a lad from Taranaki who used to play in the Man or Two, my home province.
I love it.
It's great to see. It's great to see a young fella, another selection to bring in somebody unknown.
Yes.
Because we can't afford the big names.
Yeah.
And for someone of that potential who's really fulfilling, the reason he came here, and he's doing a brilliant job. Look, this is a really exciting match. Let's face it. It's helter-skelter the whole way.
Yes. Very, very physical.
Extremely physical, and the execution, you can see the tension in both sides because the execution is not 100% from either.
Exactly.
There's quite a lot of knock-ons. There's quite a lot of hurried passes, poor passes.
Yeah.
And so, yes, it's not clinically the most excellent performance, but at the same time, Ulster know that Connacht are in this game.
They are. Connacht are winning, but they need to get a try. They've been in there 22. I don't know how many times. I'm sure Danny will send me on the stats. I'll have to keep an eye because he normally sends me stats at half time. But, I'm just looking at the official stats. Connacht have had 60% possession, 61% territory. They've only missed 4 tackles, as against 13 from Ulster. 4 turnovers, and the penalty count is 9 penalties against Ulster. That's massive. That's why he had that chat with him near the end. Only 6 against Connacht.
But that's a fair reflection in terms of the scoreline.
Okay, we're taking 60 minutes slightly early because there's a big break in play for a couple of injuries. But Connacht now have stretched the lead to 12 points to 3, but are struggling to score. Linley, they're dominating, but they're not scoring. It's not finished yet.
They've essentially spent 20 minutes of the second half inside the Ulster.
Yeah. 22 more, maybe,
22 for a lot of the time, and they still haven't been able to get to score. I think they just need sometimes to just calm down a bit.
Yeah.
They're not being clinical enough.
Yeah.
There was a brilliant opportunity there for someone to score a try over the far side of the pitch, and I can't believe that
Bundy threw the ball away.
it was just a terrible pass.
It was.
And he was within about
2 metres of the line.
Yeah. Absolutely shocking for an international. Sorry to say that, but
Yeah,
I was, it was almost like he just didn't want
to take responsibility. Yeah,
didn't want to take responsibility. Or if he thought that there was someone on his shoulder, then the pass should have been a nice soft pass for the person to catch.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was a huge opportunity lost. Now look, we're still ahead. After replacements come on both sides, we still have the initiative.
We do.
And we're still in the right side of the field, right into the field at the moment. Let's hope it stays that way.
Yes, exactly. I don't know what that penalty for was, Linley, and I don't really care. Connacht have won. They've won in Ulster for only the 3rd time since 1960, and it means they've got to a trip to South Africa. What's your initial, wow, I had actually given up. I'd given up. I thought when Bundy made that silly pass and gave all the momentum back to Ulster, I thought Ulster were going to win it. They got the 5 metre line out, but wow from Connacht.
Just so gutsy.
Yeah.
That was a real 80-minute effort. You're right. Connacht should have put them away.
Yeah.
When they had the opportunity with that try. I think I'm just saying to myself, as you know, I just ran up to take a picture of Pete Wilkins.
And you give him a big hug.
And because I remember the first time we won up here.
Yes.
I left the seat to take a picture, and I remember, because I put it up and posted it, of Auntie Friend with his arms raised.
Yeah.
And so I said, I've got to go down and take another one on this momentous occasion again.
Absolutely.
So listen, no, this is brilliant for Connacht. This is a well-deserved win. No one can take that away from Connacht.
No,
it was hard graft in the second half.
Absolutely.
They were on the back foot for most of the second half.
Well, no, they were in the back foot for the second half of the second half.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And look, fair juice to them. I thought it was all over.
Yeah, so did I. I couldn't believe that we were going to stop them. But we made the right substitutions at the right time, and it was just phenomenal. A lot of Connacht fans now coming past us here. They're heading out the gates, and they're looking very, very happy, it has to be said.
Let's say Aidan O'Halloran.
Aidan O'Halloran. Aidan, quick word. What did you think of that?
That was magical. That's the only word. What can you say? What defence in the end. Unbelievable, that really was.
Jack Carty, it's a good bit after the full-time whistle. Have you composed yourself?
I have, yeah. I was uncomposed for about 4 or 5 minutes where I was crying like a little baby, but I suppose it was kind of a weird one. I think if that was any other year, we would have thrown it away at the end, but our defence, our forwards were incredible. Left a crazy amount of points out there as well, but our Maldi, our physicality, our breakdown were phenomenal, and I think that's where the difference was.
Yeah, resilience was a word I was using, full of it in those closing stages. And then when you talk to people who are maybe a slightly more neutral eye on the whole process, they say, look, Connacht were the better team for a long period, but they needed a bit of luck at the end and they needed to hang on.
Again, look, we probably shouldn't have been in that position at the end where we were giving them access and gave them ability to kind of win at the end. However, I think maybe left 21 points out there at various stages, but I think what that game has taught us now is how to win quarter-final games. I know there's a prominent Well, he says he's a Connacht fan. I don't know if he is a Connacht fan on Twitter, who kind of put stuff out there in terms of myself and Friendly not winning quarter-final games. So I think he can kind of, probably who I'm talking about. So he can take that one and have a little think about it. But we're delighted, and we'll learn from that and learn, I suppose, how to close out a game a bit better.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, this is one of we're trying to rank it, and this is kind of probably nonsense trying to say second biggest win, Barda win, but like it's just a reception, it's just what it means. Your phone's going to light up, but my phone's lighting up with people all over the world texting me going, what a night for Connacht. Connacht supporters, this means so much to them that you guys have got what they feel you deserve because of the run you've had over the last 3 months.
Yeah, I think, we were quietly confident coming up here. I don't know what it was externally, but we were massively just focused on ourselves. I think any of the games that we've done well against Ulster, we've matched them with their physicality, and we've stopped giving them access to our 22 through their maul, and we did that today. I don't know, I think maybe the turning point in that game was in the first half, where there was that bit of a scuffle, and I suppose we didn't kind of back down from it. I think from that point on, it kind of showed that we were here and we meant business.
Certainly did. What do you want from the group now? What do you want from supporters? Belief is there now. You got to think you can go even further.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'll be a different type of opposition next week in terms of physicality and what they bring. But it's again, we're going wherever we need to go with nothing to lose. I think both them teams. It'll be a massive opportunity for us, but we'll be going there with nothing to lose, and I think we have to improve on a lot of aspects tonight, which is the exciting thing.
Yeah, exciting of that. You only get a week, but Jack, you got to enjoy this tonight now. These are the nights. This is what you play rugby for, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what we said. We said at the start of the season, we met as players, and we kind of spoke about what we wanted to do, and it almost felt, in terms of that was written in the stars, it was destiny that was going to happen tonight. But I think, as you said, it's important now to kick on from that isn't the end of it. We build on, we win next week and get to a final.
The nation's media is waiting for you. I better let you go.
Cool, thanks.
Andy, friend, pull the bones out of that one.
Just a lot of character, a lot of heart. Missed opportunities, definitely, but our defence won us the game. Our breakdown in defence won us the game, which was brilliant.
Is that the culmination? Is that the performance that you've been sort of waiting for and hoping for, that it would come together in one night when the pressure was on and everybody would stand up and you would pull off the win?
Well, I think what was great there was the way in which we won. Like, we weren't perfect out there tonight by a long stretch. We left points out there, but normally if we do that, we don't win games of footy. So the growth in that team there was, we weren't perfect, but we still stuck to our guns with our defence, and our defence won us a game of footy. So immensely proud of that, but know full well that we can go to another level, which is good and exciting.
And I suppose that's looking to the future, but the future is next Saturday in Cape Town or Pretoria. What's the mood? Bring it on?
Yeah, bring it on. We got sore bodies there. We're staying up in Ulster tonight, which is good. It's a really smart move by the club. It allows us to get a good rest. We'll travel back tomorrow. We'll prepare on. We'll prepare on Monday. We're likely to fly on Tuesday. Have a rest day on Wednesday over there. Maybe train on Thursday. Maybe train on Friday. They don't need more train at the moment. They just need rest and recovery and confidence and belief. And they've got confidence and belief out of that tonight in spades, which is good.
A few sore bodies down in
sore
But I bet they haven't noticed yet, have they?
No, they'll work it out tomorrow morning.
And you don't care who you're playing, do you?
No, I don't care who we're playing. We got beat by both teams at the start of the season but we got beat by this mob at the start of the season very well. So we know we're a different footy team now, and we've got momentum behind us, and we're going to go over there and give it a really good shot, and who knows.
0-3, 1-4, 4-7 on New Year's Day in Dublin.
3-7.
3-7. To turn that around and to come out now in the semi-finals, I mean, that is a huge turnaround.
Yeah, and that's a real compliment to Pete Wilkins, our other coaches, and our players as well. There's been enormous belief within the group, whilst others outside may not have had the belief we did and we have had, and here we are heading to a semi-final. So very proud of the boys.
Go well.
Thanks,
We'll
mate.
talk again during the week when you're down in South Africa.
Just as a quick question, how much do you attribute to changing the surface and the sports ground to the way you've changed your game?
Oh, it's enormous, Linley, because we can now train on a consistent surface, and it just allows us to every single training session build our game, which has been brilliant.
In terms of the 2018 game, how do you feel in terms of that?
Much better.
Feel much better than.
Yes, we're going to go out and have a quick party. Rob's going to...
We'll have to shoot off. I got it. You guys are just going to sit back and have a birthday party. Can we say whose birthday it is?
Oh, it's William's birthday, yes.
Happy birthday, William. Yes, I think this is a decent way to celebrate your birthday. The team that you marched up to watch and play, the All Blacks in whatever, 1974, have just gone and given one of their greatest ever days. Not bad. Not a bad birthday.
No, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'll take it back in my city where I was raised for first little period of my life. So yeah, it's great. It's absolutely brilliant. I was delighted for them, proud of them. Did a good job tonight. That performance was needed because they have they've been getting there.
Yes.
And what did I say during the week? Line in the sand. They were talking about it themselves. They knew that if they didn't get over it today, they'd be starting again.
I loved when you said that in the pre-game podcast. I'm about to leave now, so I'm going to say this to finish. I loved what William said. I banged the steering wheel when I was driving up because I was like, absolutely bloody right. Because, listen, I said this after Leinster earlier in the year. I keep going back to it. I just felt, I know they lost 10-0 to the greatest team in the world, and they did brave. I was sickened by that performance because we left it out there.
We did.
They didn't tonight. And I'm saying this to finish. Call me getting carried away, but we'll see how it pans out tomorrow. We'll watch the games. Don't call this full stop. Don't let this be full stop. I know they celebrate it, and I know the way it works in other sports in Ireland. They say, that's their final. It's not. That's not their mindset. It shouldn't be. I'd say, as far as to say, another line in sand. Win in South Africa. Why not?
I don't think that is their mindset.
Yeah. No, I'm saying it's not. But I'm saying it is in other sports in Ireland. I think this group are going to prove that wrong. I think they're going to go there to win.
I don't think it's their mindset at all. And I think, if you listen to Andy Friend in there, I think they're, they do have a long week in front of them and then a lot of travel. So, it's going to be a little bit difficult.
This was a shot to nothing. Next week's an even bigger shot to nothing because nobody's going to give...
But I don't think they see it as
They
a
don't.
shot. They
Exactly.
don't see it as a shot to nothing.
Exactly.
Did you hear him at the end of the season speaking to the crowd in the Clan Terrace? The first thing he said is, we're going to try and get you some silverware before I'm gone.
That's what he wants.
That's a mindset. I got to go, lad.
Yeah.
That's a mindset.
Yeah.
Talk to you during the week.
Yeah, no worries. And you also have to remember that this isn't a team that doesn't have winners in there. There are plenty of players still available who were there for the championship winning season. It's what are we now, 23, so it's 8 years ago. 2016. So yeah, 2016. So, but there's still players there who know how to win and know that they can win because then they can now know they believe how to win. My God, Seamus Harley-Langton, what a performance.
Yeah, he's come up in the last couple of weeks. I mean, he's been putting in good performances, but I think players they hit periods of form. Mm-hmm. They get a better understanding of their own game and what's required of them. It's a competitive area, the back row. Cian Prendergast was massive. Conor Oliver was massive. The back row has been all through the team. Yeah. But they did leave points behind them, and that will annoy them. It's a very odd week for them because they will probably come in on Monday. They'll have a light run to see who's ready to go. And there may be some disappointed players because they're going to bring 27, 28 players, and there might be some guys told them, sorry, we just don't think you're going to be fit enough for next weekend, and we'll have to bring somebody else, and that's going to be tough. But they're able to do that.
Yes.
There weren't any major injuries though from today, were there?
I don't know. There'll be a few sore bodies out there, definitely.
I don't think there were any major injuries.
No, it didn't look as though there was
didn't look as if there was too major. The Connacht bench was incredibly strong.
Yes.
Ulster's wasn't. Ulster's bench fell on its face. And apart from Dan Stewart, who should have started? Tom Stewart. Well, he should have started instead of Herring, who gives you nothing around the park, but can throw the ball into a lineup, but that's about it. And I thought that was a mistake. And it's up to Connacht now to regroup, which they will do, and go down there with a great deal of confidence. And the pressure will still be on either the Stormers or the Bulls. Their fans will be turning up expecting them to win.
Absolutely.
And I think the Bulls are a tough outfit.
Yeah.
Stormers are a bit flaky, and they're missing 5 or 6 players. They might struggle
Yeah,
to
they
actually
might
beat
struggle.
the Bulls.
Yeah, yeah.
So it could be Pretoria, it could be Altitude. Who cares? It's a semi-final, and semi-finals. You know, something. Semi-finals are the hardest because losing in a semi-final is rancid. But it's also an opportunity. Just go. I'm just seeing the Connacht players now walking out. They're on their way to their bus back to the hotel. They've a big week in front of them, but they should take it in their stride. They've come up here, they've delivered against the 1-5 on favourites for this game, and yeah, let's get it. As Andy Friend said at the end of when I was talking to him, let's get it on.
Let's get it on. Okay, I think we'll leave it there. I think we'll have plenty to talk about during the week. We have to find out where we're going to be able to commentate from, because I'm doubting you and me are going down to Rob, we're going down to South Africa. But yeah, we'll figure that out. We'll talk to you during the week, folks. So hope you enjoyed that, and we'll chat soon.
Loose, cut it loose. Break out or nothing changes. Side